Perhaps the most important book about negotiation, the classic, is Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher and William Ury. In this video, I'll summarise the important ideas that they put into this book. Getting to Yes starts with the idea of principled negotiation as an alternative to bargaining over positions. Fisher and Ury see that the goal of a negotiation is a wise outcome, and they see negotiators as principled problem solvers who can work together to get that wise outcome. Fisher and Ury offer a 4-point approach to principled negotiation, and the first point is to separate the people from the problem. That is, don't let personalities and your history with the other person get in the way of resolving the problem together in a respectful and amicable way. Second, focus on interests, not on positions. We go into a negotiation with a position, but actually what matters is our interests, what matters to us. Positions are about politics and the risk of losing face. Interests are what deliver an outcome that is beneficial to us. Third, invent options for mutual gain. This is all about the creative process of working together to find as many possibilities as you can, and then searching among those for the one which gives the greatest level of equitable mutual gain. And finally, insist on objective criteria when evaluating the options. Evaluate them against things that really matter and against things that are objective in the sense they can be measured and agreed upon by all parties. In separating people from the problem, you need to build a relationship with whoever it is that you're dealing with. It's about coming to respect them even if you don't actually like them. It's the problem that you need to deal with, not the person, and they are an ally in doing that. And therefore, you need to address 3 things: perceptions, emotions, and communication. To understand the way they perceive the world, you must put yourself in their shoes. You must try to look at the problem from their point of view to understand what matters to them. You need to recognise and understand the emotions in the room, but you mustn't react to them and become emotional yourself. If you need to let off steam, call a timeout and do it away from the negotiating room. And it's good communication that builds understanding. This means a willingness to speak openly and honestly about your perceptions and your understanding of the situation, to not try to put words into their mouth by asserting what their perception should be. And above all else, it means good quality active listening without interruption, without challenge. The second aspect of principled negotiation is focusing on interests, not positions. It's the interests that define the problem, and it's where interests overlap that the solution can be found. To help find solutions, we ask questions like why, for what purpose, in order to get to a higher level of understanding about interests. And then we ask questions like how else can we meet that purpose to create options. We need to understand interests at the deepest possible level, making a list of what each party's interests are and recognising that the strongest, most powerful and compelling interests are the ones at the bottom of Maslow's pyramid, his hierarchy of needs, things like safety and security and relationships. You need to acknowledge each other's interests and look forward to ways that you can meet those interests in a solution that works for both of you. And we find those solutions by inventing options for mutual gain. The more options you find, the longer you spend searching for different options, the longer you defer making a choice, the more likely you are to find one that works well for both of you. Opting quickly for the first option you find is unlikely to produce the best result for either party, let alone for both. Done well, negotiation is not a zero-sum game in which one party has to lose so that the other can win. Solving your problem is my concern, and solving my problem is your concern. When we work together, we can both achieve huge benefits without those benefits being at the cost of the other party. And finally, principled negotiation is based on objective criteria. Insist upon equitable standards and fair policies, procedures and processes as you work through the negotiation. Be rational and be open to reason, and frame every issue as a search for objective criteria against which to assess options. And finally, never yield to pressure. Only yield to principle and objective evidence. The final thing I want to mention from this amazing book is the idea of a Batna, a best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And we've done a video about the Batna, what it is and what it means, that you can consult. But in summary, a Batna, a best alternative to a negotiated agreement, is more valuable than a simple bottom line below which we will not go. A bottom line is an arbitrary limit to where you're going to stop negotiating. A Batna is knowing that if the negotiation fails, your best option is this, and therefore it tells you where you have to stop the negotiation. Everywhere above that is better than your alternative, and therefore is a measure of success for your negotiation. But if you don't know your Batna, then you do run the risk of coming to an agreement which is actually measurably worse for you than not agreeing. And of course, the more research you do and the better the Batna that you can develop, then the more power you have in the negotiation. So, Getting to Yes is a phenomenal book. It is an important book. It is a classic. And if you're going to read one book and only one book on negotiation, then this should be it. Please do give us a thumbs up if you like this video. There's loads more great management courses content to come, so please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of it. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.